Tacit recognition of my divine person and Samadhi, taken from Recognition of Me is Liberation by Samraj. The perfect knowledge way or reality way of Adidam is not established by means of verbal argument, but by means of my direct self-transmission of the divine self-nature, self-condition and self-state of conscious light itself, or the bright itself. The perfect knowledge way or reality way of Adidam is the seventh stage way from the beginning. The recognition response that is the basis for radical devotion to me is the recognition response to me, here, bodily, incarnate, appearing in bodily human form before your eyes. The recognition response that is the basis for radical devotion to me is tacit recognition of my divine self-nature, self-condition and self-state, my divine person, or that which is self-revealed by means of my divinely avatarically born bodily human divine form, which can always be before the view of devotees, even after the physical lifetime of my bodily human form, divine form, by means of representation forms that are technical recollections of my appearance while physically alive. That recognition response to my divine self-nature, self-condition, self-state, or my divine person, or my divine samadhi, is the basis of your devotional turning to me. That recognition response to me is not about beliefs, myths, metaphors, or words. That recognition response to me is tacit devotional recognition of me in person, bodily incarnated. Tacitly, and not merely by thinking about it, my egoless person, my divine perfect self-nature, self-condition and self-state is to be more and more tangibly felt. That is what it means to transcendently, spiritually locate me and perfectly know me. Even at the beginning of the perfect knowledge way, or reality way of Adidam, my devotee tacitly, tangibly and responsively locates and perfectly knows my egoless, divine and perfect self-nature, self-condition and self-state. That is how devotion to me in the perfect knowledge way or reality way of Adidam is established, not through beliefs, not through finding me somehow physically interesting to look at, but through tacit recognition response to my direct self-revelation of the self-nature, self-condition and self-state that is reality itself, and that is indivisible and egoless conscious light, or the bright itself. Devotional recognition of me is not merely a matter of recognizing me as looking different than somebody else. Devotional recognition of me is a tacit recognition of my divine self-nature, self-condition and self-state, which is my divine samadhi, or that which is divinely self-revealed in and via this bodily manifested divine avataric person. True devotional recognition of me inevitably manifests devotional response to me, wherein and whereby my thus responding devotee volunteers to live by my divine avataric instruction. On the basis of devotional recognition of me, devotional response to me, and practice in accordance with my divine avataric instruction, my devotee enters into the fundamental practice of moment-to-moment, whole bodily devotional turning to me, which in due course becomes true surrender to me, and the searchless beholding of me, and the by my divine avataric transcendental spiritual grace-given capability to locate my self-transmission of my transcendental spiritual self-nature and my transcendental spiritual self-presence. My divine avataric transcendental spiritual self-transmission constantly self-reveals my very state, which is the divine self-state, the divine self-condition, and the self-evidently divine self-nature.